Nut.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is episode 138, and we're a little bit behind schedule, so we're just going to jump immediately into a recap of last session. Wait, hold up. This isn't 138, this is 139.
Sure, it's not 132.
I thought we were well into the 160s at this point.
This is definitely 139. So, we're going to do a recap of 138. Previously, outside the Dungeon of the Mad Mage in the city of Waterdeep, the party had received individual summons from their patrons, powerful leaders within the City of Splendors. Some of the meetings that had already occurred were tense, but as Bones stood within Falconmere Manor, conversing with Melanor Fellbranch and Jareth Falcon, it was not Bones or his mission that had the ancient hand of the Emerald Enclave so angered. For Bones learned that the manor had been attacked by a mage whose name the party had only recently heard, Manchun. However, Jareth forbade Bones from looking into the matter, at least for now. The Tabaxi had a different hunt he was to focus on. The shadow beneath the mountain must be tracked and slain, though it was clear that Jareth believed most, if not all, of Undermountain should be put to the torch. Ultimately, after the party reported to its patrons, it was clear which patron had the issue with the party's progress. While each of the four leaders had guiding words for their subordinates, only Vajra Safar seemed truly on edge. Her instructions to Ashes seemed brash, a step away from urging the wearer into a headlong rush to his doom. Sure, she wanted the success of the mission, but it had become clear she did not care about the party's fate outside of that success. As the party mulled over these events, they decided they would be returning to the dungeon on the morrow. For this evening, there were two things that needed to be taken care of. The first was Bones' assessment at the Guild of Fine Carvers, and it went off magnificently. The Bone Carver's latest creation was a finely crafted pair of bracers or arm guards, primarily made from the massive teeth of the Tyrannosaurus the party had defeated in the Willowwood. The teeth were covered in runes that had been enchanted, giving the bracers the ability to bond with daggers that were placed upon them and grant those daggers with the returning property. The bracers could also mechanically shift down onto themselves to take up less arm space and be less ostentatious. The work was a huge success. The three board members unanimously approved Bones' advancement to the rank of expert within the guild, and a small celebration was thrown. The only shadow to fall across the scenario was a warning that Farfalle gave to Bones. His meteoric rise through the ranks would garner attention, especially from the five masters. He would need to make sure he didn't step on any toes, or if he did, that he was prepared to mitigate the consequences. After the assessment, Matashtai headed back to the Rise to meet with the masked man who had spent the day attempting to alter Wolf's enchantment. Matashtai was apprehensive as he arrived, worried that perhaps things had gone awry and Wolf had been lost forever. But the masked man had been successful, at least partially. The mage had been unable to fully adjust the enchantment to allow Wolf's form to be specifically chosen, but he had been able to twist the odds, increasing the likelihood that the form Wolf took was the one that was desired. As the two men watched Wolf play in the snow in his massive direwolf form, the masked man congratulated Matashtai on the simplest of things, being a good person. The evening came to a close, the party rested, awoke, and after dealing with some errands, headed to the Yawning Portal, intent on heading back into Undermountain. After arriving and while preparing to descend, they were approached by an urgent halfling man who spoke of vengeance. He needed strong adventurers to defeat a creature that had destroyed his people. the Scourge of the Gwynwynwald, a dragon. And that is where we fade back into the scene for our party. So,
I just want everyone to know that there are cool runes. Specifically, the runes are cool.
they're very cool. The runes
By
are
Cool rune.
quite cool. Quite cool. So you are.
Everyone in the room-
Oh no.
It was cool.
You are in the yawning portal. It is midday because you guys had a bunch of little errands that you wanted to take care of, etc., etc. So it's not quite midday; it's close to midday, right? And you have been pulled over to a side table by this halfling, Finver Cleardew, who has introduced himself and bought a round for your party, and has just asked that you be basically like his hand of vengeance against a dragon known as the Scourge of the Gwynwynwald. Bodis.
That's a hell of an introduction. Well, who is this dragon? Can you give us some more details?
So yeah, the halfling will recount to you the menace of this dragon across his halfling village in a location called the Gwynwynwald, which is about 70 or 80 miles to the southeast of Waterdeep.
Oh, this is a topside quest.
And he will describe a green drake
Oh, never mind.
that terrorized and then ultimately destroyed his people, and then was attacked by a group of adventurers that had been hired right by the surrounding villages and fiefdoms and etc., had kind of like pooled together to try to get rid of this dragon. And the adventurers failed to kill the thing, they just drove it away. Finver has now tracked it to Undermountain.
What's it look like?
He'll do one better than telling you what it looks
Hey.
like. Though he will describe the creature. He gives you its name.
Alright, what's its name? Farley?
No.
Nosferatu.
That would have been...
Irule.
Ham.
No, the name of the
Jirala.
dragon is Valdemar.
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 Jiralize the blade.
The
Yeah,
dragon
Jirala's
who shall
the-
not be named.
And that is a name that you all are aware of because you know this dragon, and you know that this dragon is no longer of its own free will. It is controlled by the blade Tiralai. So Finver does not know this.
Okay.
Um,
What are you offering to do? I'll-
Well, hold on. Was there any physical markings on the dragon that would, better... Like, not saying that there's a whole lot of green dragons flying around down there, but just to be sure, is there like a defining marker on this thing?
So Finver will tell you that there is a basically
sword stuck
kind of
in its
like
head?
no,
that's
there's
what
no
I'm- that's
there's
what
no
I'm looking
sword
for.
stuck in
Okay.
the head as far as Finver is aware. There is a basically like a scar running down the length of the left side of the dragon. That was from the original attack by the adventurers that drove it away.
So basically, the sword stabbing happened after that. At some point.
Yeah, the sword stabbing was not in the Gwynwynwald. And you guys know that kind of story slightly already. You were told, right? The sword stabbing happened in the Willowwood, right?
Yep.
Willow
right.
originally was not happy to have Valdemar there, and allowed adventurers to hunt the dragon, but then that didn't work out very well for those adventurers. And after Tiralai had been plunged into the dragon's brain and had taken over, then Willow was like, we good now, you know?
Okay, so let's decide out of character really fast. Are we going to fleece this man? Be honest with him.
I don't feel good about fleecing him. I think.
Well, I mean, we say, oh yeah, we'll find it. And we'll make sure it's taken care of.
Or we just tell him the truth and
So
let it be.
You're pro not fleece.
So you wanna tell him, yeah, we've met the dragon, but he was stabbed in the head by a sword and he's a completely different person now.
He's
Yes,
under the
you gotta
control of a
sword
part of
lobotomy.
Should not be beholden to his previous transgressions.
I'm not going to say that, but
He's under
I would
control of-
explain to him that there are other factors now.
He's under the control of the Emerald Enclave. Now,
Yeah. All right. I'll agree with Matt on that one.
all right, that's fine with me. I really don't care one way or the other.
Okay.
I thought
Okay.
it would be fun to lie to him, but I'm cool with being honest.
The rogue has the idea to lie and fleece someone. Surprising.
I'm very
Free
surprised.
money's free money, baby.
All right. So I kind of listen to him and take it all in, and I say, so I think we've met the dragon you're talking about.
You should see his eyes kind of light up, and no roll necessary, right? Like, you are in like Bones is Perception King, you are Insight King. You see his eyes light up with hope. Hope that his wishes are finally going to come to fruition.
Gotcha.
That makes me super sad. So I continue on, and I say, under most circumstances, I think we'd be happy to help you. But this one's a little bit more delicate. You see, a while back, he got into a fight with some adventurers down there and took a sword to the brain.
You telling this story is a mix of emotions across this halfling's face, right? Like, as soon as you start the kind of like butt kind of side of things, his face kind of like darkens. And then you get to the point where you're talking about a sword in the brain of the dragon, and he's like, there's this moment of like elation and then confusion, and it just kind of like chokes out. It still lives?
Well, so that's the part I'm not 100% sure on. So, took the sword to the brain, and he is
Still
completely
there, by the
different.
way. It's like a unicorn.
Yeah, it sticks right at the top. Anyway, so
Do unicorns exist in 5e?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
so
Just making sure.
anyway, he is completely different from before. So when we were down there, there's a lady that goes by the name of Willow that runs that level, basically, and she had been asking people to hunt him. Took a sword to the brain, and now he's real friendly and helps protect the woods. So, I don't know that it's still the same dragon, or if it's a dragon corpse possessed by a sword now.
Well, I mean, just to clarify, the sword is technically just controlling the dragon currently.
Do we know that?
Yeah, I've talked to the Emerald Enclave about it.
How do they know?
I said they know about the sword. It's an Emerald Enclave sword.
Yeah.
It was wielded by
Sentient
a
weapons are
member of the
completely
Emerald
unheard
Enclave.
of.
No. That's not the argument I have. My argument is, did the sword possess him and literally take over his body? Is there still a dragon soul in there?
Like, if you pulled out the sword, would
Would he
Valdemar
be
still
dead?
be alive, or would he just drop
Yeah,
dead?
So,
If I had
I
to
mean-
guess, if you pulled that sword out, it would ragdoll.
no, well, the Enclave sure believes that there's a possibility that Valdemar's still in there. So, you know.
Well,
Well,
that
if it's
doesn't
alive or
give
not,
this
like,
little
it's in the
halfling the chance
blood.
that the dragon's dead. So, I don't think that, and I'm not going to say that.
I feel like I'm having this conversation in character out loud in front of him.
Well,
And
that is your prerogative.
I'm just saying that my patron is literally a magic house. I feel like she's pretty aware of what swords can and cannot do.
Oh, I'm sorry. When did houses become sword experts?
When they became old and magical.
You see, the halfling's face
so
is
all
like
old and
so
magical
confused and is
things.
now like looking back and forth between Matashtai and Bones, and like you two start arguing about this, and it's like, wait, are you saying you won't kill the dragon?
It's taken.
I'm saying
Take
that
care
we
of.
can't agree to it currently. Because, for all we know, that dragon's now protecting Willow's Wood.
Need you to make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Roll initiative.
He's gonna stab me. Little halfling gonna fucking
Here, let
shiv
him
me in the
stab.
kneecap.
It's okay. He can't hit you. You've got like an AC of 35.
I have the lowest AC aside from you.
Oh, I was gonna say, please make that argument.
He qualified it.
I have the
He
lowest
qualified
AC. Right.
Gotta love them prepositional phrases.
You said persuasion?
Can't fail.
Persuade!
Saying is that
You
it's
were- you were
technically controlled by an artifact of the Emerald Enclave. That's all
You
I'm
were
saying.
trying to make a persuasive argument, right, Matashtai? You were trying to make the argument, right, of logic of like, hey, we understand that you seek vengeance against this Valdemar, you know, but right now, that creature doesn't even exist, right? The halfling very clearly doesn't take it. Immediately after your statement, like your response, he steps, like he shoves back away from the table. You can hear the scraping of the bench, right? He steps up, stands up, right? And he kind of loudly, he doesn't yell, he doesn't shout, but he very loudly says that, clearly I heard wrong about you. I've been told you were heroes. I didn't realize you were cowards. And he just turns and he storms off.
Down my beard. Can't be helped.
All right. He weaves his way back into the crowd, and there's like a you know, eyes on you, right? Like after that outburst, there's a bunch of people that are watching all of you in the aftermath of this. And I mean, it's obviously there's gonna be gossip, right? Like there's gonna be a scenario of people are gonna be like, oh yeah, this happened with, you know, so and so. So
Go find Voldo. I'm gonna feed him a rumor.
I'm gonna
Okay.
head over to Durnan at the bar,
Okay.
and I'm gonna just give him 10 gold and say, make sure he drinks for free for a while.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's like
will
an
do.
afternoon for a halfling.
Right, will do. Okay.
Like 2 pints, he'd be fucking dead.
They come in pints?
Bones, roll me a just roll me a d20. Above a 10, there's a Volo here. Otherwise, there's not.
Volo. Damn.
No Volo. Hey, Volo's
There's a
here.
Volo.
There's a Volo here. And Volo is loud, almost obnoxiously loud at almost all times. So it is not hard to identify that he is here and make your way over to him. You are a known compatriot to the rambling man. Are you? What are you doing? He greets you, kind of like claps you on the shoulder, urges you to tell him of your latest exploits. You realize that if you do, he's probably going to pawn them off as his own.
Yeah. All that. I need you to spread a rumor.
He like feigns, like
Yeah.
I've never. What do you want? Right.
How much you paying?
To spread that that little halfling is actively working against the Enclave and is not to be trusted.
So he will say under his breath, that is rather slanderous. And it kind of just does the slight grease my palm kind of like gesture.
Like, look, I don't want the dragon and my boys to have to kill a bunch of stupid adventurers.
Oh, that sounds dire indeed. I in order to properly spread this rumor, I will need to, make sure my throat is well ready for so many tales.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey,
Give him a
bitch.
black.
Okay, yeah. Yep. He's like, you see a twinkle in his eye, and he's just like, always a pleasure. Come back for more.
Yeah, we'll do.
Fucking Bolo is now the rumor mill. Gotcha. Love it.
I think I can get the job done.
Oh yeah, he'll absolutely get the job done. You see he immediately like turns over to Durnan, puts the plat down, and you see Durnan just kind of like sigh, right? Bolo's gonna have a good time, and everyone's gonna hear about this fucking halfling.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
What? Deed is done. Okay.
Get out of here.
Aside from that, right? You all are kind of left to your own devices. Is it time to head down, or is there anything else that you would like to do?
I think we commence the delving.
Commencing the
Subtract
delving.
gold.
The winch is made ready. You are lowered down into the Undermountain via the well. Everyone please deduct your gold as Durnan continues to make bank. Rest of forever. Oh, okay. All right. First stop, pit stop. The dungeon level.
You need to talk to Am, didn't you? Jim?
Yeah, I do.
All right, don't forget.
I need to try to find Arthur Morton.
Didn't we just have to like speak his name?
Yeah, I think it might be important to go to that one corner
I don't
where
Green I'm on, Jeremy, but it's something I've never seen.
the fog of war is gone from the map though, so I can't pinpoint it anymore.
Not gone from my map, but it's still a screen I've never seen before.
Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of weird shit.
I'm seeing some light sources.
I'm
There's like a
seeing
dragon
monsters
and
I've
something
never
riding
seen.
something else.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe we're not supposed to see this.
I doubt it seriously.
It's a small dragon.
It's kind of a small dragon.
It's a young dragon.
I'm very confused.
Age? Maybe it's just little.
It's a wyvern, God. Come on, boys. Know your shit.
Bro, it's a 3,000-year-old lolly, okay? Just because she's still 700 years old.
So one of my favorite mistranslations in video games is in Lufia, where there is a wyvern, but the people doing the translation were native Japanese speakers that knew English to a degree, and they translated wyvern to the letter Y hyphen burns.
Right.
Wyverns.
Yeah, that's like the
Bird.
Dasha, L-A, L-A,
Ladash.
Ladasha.
Oh, it's still doing the weird HP bar thing.
We're still on a weird page, Jeremy. Is that intended?
I'm trying to work on it. I don't know why you guys are on a weird page, so...
Okay.
Back on Waterdeep. I'm back on a weird page.
Now I'm back on a weird page.
I'm still in the dungeon somewhere, maybe.
Yeah, but on a page you've never seen, right?
Oh, there I am.
Is it a page you've never seen?
No, I think this is
It
the
looks
first floor.
no, it looks like that room where we initially fought something. I cannot remember it. There was some sort of
we're at the
dice
proper
with
drop
like a
stage.
chair,
Oh,
and
the flash golem, right?
no,
Yes.
I don't think it was a flesh golem.
I'm certain it was.
Like it was on level 1 or 2. I don't think it was a flesh golem.
There was a flesh golem. Okay, I'm just gonna move you guys all to the spot that I'm pretty sure
I know what the corner looks like. I just can't see it.
I think we're on the right level. Yes, we are on the right level.
Yeah.
What
this
is
room
he
is
saying
definitely
riding the
drop.
carrion crawler?
What?
Oh, that's not
We have been duplicated.
Yeah, you've been
It's a crazy
duplicated over
board.
to the place where I think you are talking about, right? Like, is that what you're talking about? You can see
Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see this.
that? Gotcha.
I can see another place too.
I stabbed the wyvern.
You see down here as well? I wonder why.
You see?
Yeah, so I see into this room. See here.
Yeah, I see that too.
Here. I see up in
There's
here.
no lighting option there.
I
There's
see
no...
up at the top left up here.
Yeah, I see that too.
Why the fuck?
I also see down here.
Yeah,
There's
I
like-
see down there too.
Weird globes, like view globes.
Oh, that's that hallway. Remember? That was lit.
Those are light sources. Why can you guys see light sources from... Roll20, did you fuck up?
Roll20 fucked up.
This is where that ooze was. Remember the gelatinous cube?
Yeah, the thingy boy. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The clear cube that cleaned
So you
the
guys
room.
can see all of those torches.
I am
Yes,
Yes.
every
I'm
single torch.
What the
currently
fuck?
outlining everything I can see, Jeremy.
I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that.
There, that, and all of this. There. That's all we can see.
I mean, are we-
That, and all of
Role
this.
play on this level, does it like actually matter?
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
it doesn't matter. Well, probably doesn't matter. It's just
Unless we're gonna
weird.
go and kill all of Am's forces.
Yeah, my concern now is what's going on and is this duplicated elsewhere? Because it could absolutely matter on other floors.
Fair.
I'm gonna reload my roll20. Everyone, do me a favor and reload their roll20s.
Wait,
Into that.
All these lines I just made. Please. Nope. Reload.
it looks still
Every time I reload, it's like a flashbang.
Is it?
it's exactly the same.
Alright, well, we
Yes,
will
okay.
not worry about it for this level, but we will, when we load into another level, we will immediately check and see if things are weird there. And I will try to troubleshoot as we go. So, you guys are lowered down into the well, into Undermountain, right? And you are back in the familiar dungeon level. But Ashes, you want to try to find Arthur Morland? Is that the plan?
Like to find Arthur Morland.
Okay, what are
We
you...
should probably get
what are you
off the
doing? Where are
beat
you going?
now. There's not the vampire. Just FYI.
Well, and do we just walk like our own
There's
characters?
there's that secret door that's like right here. We can find that
Yeah.
bitch.
Because like aside from those light sources, like there's no like option for.
Well, if you recall correctly, this secret door cannot be opened from this side.
I vividly recall us prying it open from this side.
You vividly recall putting something in it from the other side to keep it wedged open, and then going back through it.
I have no memory of that part.
Okay.
I remember that part.
There might also have been
Confirm.
some prying, but I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be the way it works.
Okay,
Anyways.
well, move together with you guys if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Okay, so you guys head down the hall with the intention of what? You make it to the Forest of Pillars. What's your plan?
I think we should get off the main path if you're going to try and talk to Am.
I don't remember what we're actually trying to do. We're just trying to talk with Am.
Ash is supposed to talk with Am, but I don't think we should do it where people might be watching. Because of, the Green Chorus was saying there's already rumors of vampires.
Well, I mean, the all of our benefactors are also Lords of Waterdeep. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be tripping balls over us talking to another Lord of Waterdeep.
Okay, well, give me just a second then. I'll take a quick lap around, make sure there's no prying eyes.
Roll me a perception or investigation check. Choice.
I'll do that. Only 29.
29. There's plenty of tracks of coming and going. There's a lot of activity. It's dungeon level 1. But in the immediacy, there's no one hanging about as far as you're aware.
So, alright.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we're just gonna try here.
Yeah, there's nobody around.
All right, I'll Archer Moreland.
Jesus.
It's like Bloody Mary. Got it, like Beetlejuice.
Didn't he tell us to call him Am? Just call him.
Am.
I am.
Are you
whatever
here?
You say I am.
If I wasn't, no.
You see a mist flow in from the north side. And the mist kind of passes behind one of the pillars and then immediately outsteps on the other side of the pillar, Archer Moreland. And he says, kind of in response, right? He says, I have been waiting for you to be the one to call for such a long time now.
Yeah, he said, hey, baby.
What can I do for you, Ashes?
Just go down.
Hey, well, we've made it to we're about to go into Dramacor, and I plan to invest in looking into that student, the one vested in Shadow, to try to get a lead on Caresta.
Yes.
And I was hoping, I did not mention this or ask the first time when you brought this up, but do I need to be hush hush about my intentions with this student? Is he aligned with Shar, or is
I have no idea. The rumors and portents that I have access to are vague at the best of times. I would act on whatever instinct you feel is best. You, after all, are the one trained to hunt such malevolent creatures. What do your teachings tell you? Should you use the gift of gab and be free with your pieces of knowledge? I don't know. I would assume in some cases it might benefit you, but is this one of them? Perhaps it will depend on the person.
Right. Alright, well, I just wanted to have an opportunity to clarify before I, fuck this up.
When you put it that way, it doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Come now, you all are esteemed heroes of the City of Splendors.
I don't think everybody would agree with you.
Well, everybody might not agree, but if nothing else, you're very good at killing things that want to kill you. So, I would say trust your instincts, and if anything tries to knife you, knife it back.
That has never been a problem yet.
We don't need to prove it.
Well,
Gallery.
that is pretty much the only thing I wanted to clarify, and just to let you know that we are making progress. I will say that I don't know if you've had communications with your peers, but things are happening.
Arthur has this kind of like feigned look of ignorance.
Okay.
Where he says, "My peers? I don't know what you're talking about."
I won't press. We have been tasked to double our efforts, try to get further down. So I think that's what we're going to do.
Interesting. Risky behavior. I will tell you, the further down you go, the more extreme the dangers of the dungeon. The later floors, even just going from one to the next, you might be careful. It's step from what feels as if a logical step into one that is far beyond your capabilities.
We did have a little bit of insight. We had Ezrah use a spell to kind of take a sneak peek in one of the later floors, and it didn't go great. It went very, very poorly.
How interesting. And you see Arthur actually kind of looks you in the eye for one of the first times, Ezrah, because mostly when you guys meet Arthur only has eyes for ashes. But he actually finds your gaze, Ezrah, and just kind of gives you this nod of approval. How delightfully brash of our young sorcerer.
Thanks. I think.
You're most welcome.
Don't want to take up any more of your time. We need to get down there.
You are never a bother or a burden on my time, Ashes. But I do believe you have matters that await you below. Power vacuum and all that. So...
yeah, there's a pretty big one in Slither Swamp right now. So...
What? No, it's not. We installed leaders.
That's... So, when there's a power vacuum, there's something that goes in its place, because the vacuum, right? It's just that we actually had a hand in what goes into the vacuum.
Wow.
Unless the bullywugs are a gaseous form and they expand.
It sounds like you have heeded my advice and are making sure you're leaving things better than you found it, rather than just leaving things open.
That was his advice. I thought that was your idea, Ashes.
Where do you think I got it from?
Well, now I know.
I'm wounded. You didn't even mention it was my idea.
Don't your wounds just heal up?
I'm messed up.
Over time.
Nah, not right now.
He seems like such a good guy. It's really messed up.
Truly, I am the
Look,
victim here.
All right, just
I agree.
all right. It seems I've made a poor judgment of personality, and I apologize.
There's a flash of light, and you feel a hand around your throat, and you're lifted up 3 feet in the air. It's a quarter second before you say that statement, and Archer Moreland has you by the throat in the midst of all of you.
What?
And it's another half a second or so as he gently puts you back down, releases, and steps back, and you see his eyes are blood red.
Hands, like, the second I'm in the air, hands on Zalara.
Yep.
And he,
Yep.
yep.
But
And,
there's that
like,
moment that passes where, like, your instincts kick in. Everyone's instincts kick in. You're level 12 adventurers, right? Like, so none of you are, like, just pants down. You're all going for weapons and moving, but he's so fast that it doesn't seem to even matter, right? Like,
Yeah,
the
what the hell?
moment of threat happens and then is past before any of you even draw a weapon. And after he sets you back down and he steps back with his hands up, he says, Now, Ashes, there's a reason I like you so much. And part of that reason is because you're right. Don't go soft on me.
Wow.
You will need that paranoid caution if you are to delve further and survive. There are things worse than me down here.
At this point, Ashes is not really going to be vocal. You can see him, like, gritting and straining.
Yeah.
And, like, see, like, little ripples of fur kind of, like, run up his arm and then vanish.
Zalara is, like, thrumming in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ready to go for it, right? Whether
And-
it seems like a good idea or not, right? Like, you both have that kind of, like, almost animalistic instinct, right?
And I still won't let go of Zalara, but I won't say anything, and I'm still gritting, just teeth gritting, and I'll actually just walk past Archer and just keep going.
Everybody else?
Yeah.
Give him like a, and I walk away.
You all just walk past. And as you're about 20 or so feet away, right, you hear Archer kind of call out, and he says, Sorry, Ashes. Just had to give you a reminder.
Still walking.
And then
Not.
you're gone. Alright. Hell yeah. Pura. Every time. Situation. Guide. Make your way through
Make my way.
dungeon level. Or assuming you are heading, where are you going? Are you heading to dungeon level 2? Like, I don't actually know what y'all's destination is.
I don't
truth be
either.
Told. You just started
I think we
walking,
should-
so I was like, oh, they're going to the arcane chambers, but I don't know that that's true.
I think we should go down to 3, right? 3, do the Pretty Creepa. Go then down to 6. Is that? Do you guys have opinions?
Me, I think.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I'm down to take the rift portal. I don't know why we don't really need to. It's not gonna save that much time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head through the arcane chambers, and then down to the Sargoth level.
I see nothing.
Good. You shouldn't see anything right now.
I see stairs.
Now you should
I
see
now see
stairs.
stairs.
I see
Yay!
stairs.
You guys are at the familiar entrance to the Sargoth level.
Well, Jeremy, what the fuck's wrong with level 1?
I don't know, my dude. I legit do not know. Got me fucking paranoid, though. Okay. So. Here's the Earth. Dang, that is a sweet Earth, you might say, around. You guys are heading to, the Legion's Hold.
Fucking kangaroos.
Pakistan.
Still haven't found Ezrah Jr. yet, have we?
He hasn't showed up yet.
No Azrak. No Azrakog yet.
I like Ezrah
Yeah, we're going
Jr.
to Legion Hold. We're seeking Pretty Creeper and we're taking Guillotine Portal.
You make your way down to the ruins of East Stromkolder, and you are halted by the Legion. And it takes a moment for the individuals to notice who you are, right? Or to understand who you are. And then you're logged, right, and given passage through Eastern Stromkolder. And what you see is an encampment that has seen maybe not battle here, but there are the preparations for battle, and there are wounded. There are little triage centers, and there are wounded individuals here.
Okay, well, then I will ask the sergeant or captain, whoever's escorting us, hey, what happened?
So this is Grars, and he will tell you that, the sea witches. The waters rose up against us this morning while we were out on patrol, and while some were trying to take stock reserves, refill water barrels and the like. Azrok's trying to figure out when the Legion marches.
Don't we have something going on with that?
The leader's all sorts of fucky in the head. The
I know, but we're
cousin,
supposed to do
the
something,
cousin
right?
is in Dwermacor.
Oh, the person's in Dwermacor?
Yup.
Well, so Ezra received like a sending or something like that, asking for you all to find their cousin in Dwarmarcor to try to talk some sense into Olive, because Olive was going off the rails.
All's crazy.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, stop me if y'all don't want to do this, but I think we take a stop off to go and talk to old Azrock about this. Just like, it doesn't have to be a big production. Just like a quick let them know, hey, we might have a solution for this. Maybe like just try and hold defensive lines for a little bit.
Good time as any, I guess.
I mean, I think it's like on the way to Preta. Okay,
Yep.
that's what I'd like to do.
My
Then.
mummy.
Okay.
No one's objecting. I'd like to do that.
You guys are led
objecting.
through the territory of the Legion, up past the tunnels that lead down to the 4th level, north into the western Stromkolder ruins, into Azrok's hold, and you don't have to go through the usual check-in process that most visitors do because you are honored guests of the Legion. You're escorted directly. Huh?
I'm an honored member of the Legion, not a guest.
You are led immediately to Azrok's feast hall, where you find the beginnings of a war council. Basically, Azrok and Lurkana are there, and several other captains are there as well. And there's discussions going on about the extent of the attacks and the damage, and what is going to be done in the immediacy. So you kind of walk in, or are brought in on this this little war council that is developing.
Okay.
You're of course as soon as you brought in, right? Like Azrok, like puts things on hold, comes over, claps you on the back, hurts, right? Like when he like does that, it hurts because he's like just covered in this black iron plate.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. I let him know. We've got the skinny on what's going on. Like
So
just.
He asks for as much of an explanation as you can give him of what's happening and why.
Well, the hags have recently had an upheaval, and the person in charge might not be so sane anymore.
And wasn't there like another hag of the same coven in Skullport?
That's who we installed.
Here on this floor.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah, you killed one of the three and reinstalled Olive Stillwater as the leader of that coven.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay. Yeah.
We might have messed up.
she's a little not super smart.
Legion membership revoked.
No, I'm not gonna say we did this. I'm just saying we've been made aware, that there's been a change in leadership, and they have, we had somewhat relations with them, and
Okay.
they did ask for our help to solve this issue. We're getting close to that solution, we think.
Okay.
And I think, obviously, my honored brothers, do what you want, but I would advise, or I would ask a little time, maybe like retreat into some defensive lines. I would hate for more brothers to die than necessary.
Roll me a deception check. Not because of anything that you're saying is untrue, but because you're
Because I'm
not
hiding
saying
stuff?
the whole truth. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Natural 1.
Yikes.
The rogue is not a very good liar in this particular instance.
I'm not at all.
So as you are going through this kind of scenario, right? Azrok listens, Lurkana listens, the captains listen, and there's a lot of nods and throughout, like kind of like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And as you kind of get to the end, right, the captains are already conferring. There are wells that are dug throughout the ruins, right, that would allow the Legion to not have to use the river for a while. The wells are somewhat brackish, so they prefer to use the river instead because it's always clear, clean, new water, right? And so, like, they're talking about this immediately as that happens, but Azrok's just kind of sitting there in silence, and he just kind of crooks his finger over to Lurkana, and Lurkana leans in to kind of listen to him, and he whispers something to her. And then she kind of nods, and she steps slightly away from him, and all of you have insight trained, so I'm gonna say no roll required for any of you. You can kind of see that there is a moment after they confer with one another that Lurkana distances herself from Azrok. She creates an artificial gap in between herself and the Legion commander. And then she looks at Bones and she says, "Did you know of this threat to the Legion?"
We knew that the leadership had changed. We didn't know they were going to do this.
You did not think to bring this to the Legion's attention.
If I thought it was a threat, I'd have killed him myself.
Then you were wrong. Because they are a threat.
You're right. I'll remedy it.
You notice, right? Like, there's silence. No, all of the captains who were talking about, like, oh, we can use the wells, we can set up these defensive lines, blah 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 blah, right? Like, going with what Bones was talking about. Everyone stops talking when Lurkana kind of says this, and Azrok, you see, is not looking at any of you. He's staring off to the side at a wall. As if he does not hear or see any of this exchange.
I understand.
Lurkana nods at you then.
Okay. I leave, heading back towards the river.
Bones walks the fuck out, heading back towards the river.
So, I join him.
Okay.
I catch up.
So, what's the plan there? Big
Just
B.
gonna go kill the hags.
We have to kill the hags.
All right.
You don't have to kill the hags.
I mean,
If I'm being honest with all y'all,
I don't think there's going to be a way.
probably should have from the start. But
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think there's going to be a way for us to retain our relationship with the Legion without doing.
No, it's
something
not
about
just
this.
that. It's not just that, retaining a relationship. We're members of the Legion, and we caused this, so we have to make it right. So, let's go and kill the hags.
That makes sense. That tracks.
makes sense, yeah.
So our employers are probably not going to be happy with this. What they would probably assume fruitless endeavor.
Oh well,
Don't mention it.
you throwing our employers around. Your employer's probably not going to be happy.
Right. Yeah. You know what? I need to start making that distinction. from
Every
here on
other
out.
employer is probably going to be
Let me just
fine.
do a quick in and out. Ezra, I'm sorry. I know you wanted to help them, but I don't think it can be stopped at this point. They just wouldn't be right.
I'd say that. Did Ezra actually even care about helping the hags? I think it
I
was
don't know,
more of
did
a
you?
bother to Ezra. Ezra was like, why the fuck did they pick me to talk to? Like, no, I don't want this. Sorry, not to put words on you, Jake.
It's up
Okay.
to you. I mean, I feel like we have to take care of it like right now.
Lead the way.
Okay, I lead the way.
All right.
I follow his lead of the way.
You guys are heading back to the river. Is there any point along the river you would like to go to? I will just teleport you there.
I would like to go to where the ferryman normally is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where the
I think it's somewhere
boatman
to the east.
I would
There's
like to take
stalagmites and stalactites and all that shit.
and I would like to take the boatman over.
As
ahead.
per my morning ritual, everyone has water breathing for 24 hours.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
absolutely. I'm not going in that water.
I mean, in case it happens forcefully, at least you can breathe.
Oh shit! This is that
You're
door
right.
we never opened.
No,
we
you guys
the door.
opened it. You got into this
This is
one.
where Darkest Rain Shower was.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Darkest Range Shadow.
Right, I remember that
The
now.
Darkest Rain Shadow.
We haven't heard from him in a bit.
Anyway, so I
Yeah.
pay the.
Okay.
I pay the boatman.
As you guys arrive on the banks of the Sargoth River, you see the river is more violent than it has ever been. It's basically white water along the entire river, just foaming. And you realize, Bones, after watching for a second, it's not because the current of the river has increased. It's because it is teeming with masses of presumably quippers, which are basically piranhas, if anyone is not aware.
I trust the magic death boatman.
The magic death boatman. As you kind of like come to that
You
conclusion
just
of like,
stick to
I'm
it.
fine with that. I trust the magic death boatman. It is at that point that we are going to go ahead and take our break. When we reconvene, we will see how this sudden punitive attack against the Sea Hag Coven goes. As we come back to Dungeon the Mad Mage. We'll see you all in just a few. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.